SGC here, and we are back with a movie review. Yeah, it's been quite a while since this movie's out, but I guess thanks to the recent announcement of the Zero Theorem, directed by Terry Gilliam, the same director as 12 Monkeys, I was like, I want to watch Zero Theorem, but then friends were like, no, you have to watch Brazil and 12 Monkeys, and so far I watched 12 Monkeys, and I will watch Brazil sooner than later. Anyway, 12 Monkeys is a 1995 American science fiction film directed by Terry Gilliam, inspired by Chris Marker's 1969 short film La Jetée, and it stars Bruce Willis, Madeline Stowe, and Brad Pitt, with Christopher Plummer and David Morris in supporting roles. So why did I watch 12 Monkeys recently? Well, Gilliam called it the second part of a dystopian satire trilogy, with Brazil being the first one back in 1985, and it concludes with the recent released Zero Theorem, which isn't technically released on a wide release scale because it was just released back in September. So what's this movie basically about? Well, it's Bruce Willis playing James Cole, who is a convicted criminal living beneath a post-apocalyptic Philadelphia in the year 2035. So the world that it's building on for this sci-fi thing is that back in 96 and 97, the Earth's surface has been contaminated by a virus so deadly that it forced the survivors to move on the ground, and in the years that followed, scientists engineered a imprecise form of time travel, and as a criminal to earn a pardon, Bruce Willis allows scientists to send him back in time to collect information on the virus. And while in 95 or whatever back in time, he meets Madeline Stowe and Brad Pitt and everybody else. So what I like about this film, first off, I really like the setting and the whole premise of the movie about this whole time traveling thing, and I really enjoyed the whole 90s vibe in the sense where the movie is not fully relying on CG, so it feels a lot more authentic in that case, and the whole just time travel was interesting in the sense where Bruce Willis has to convince people that he's a time traveler, and yet, you know, people think he's crazy, and then the story itself gets really intense when he goes back and forth, and I really enjoyed that, and the whole twist at the end was also amazing and enjoyable as well. So one interesting thing to know is that Bruce Willis' acting since 95, I seriously swear, has not changed, because he's always that stoic, silent but deadly, and if I talk you'll be something insightful kind of vibe that he gives. Though there is some laughter here, which is something new that I haven't seen Willis done in years recent. Madeline Stowe, on the other hand, I haven't seen her in anything, but what she brought to the movie was enjoyable in the sense where she has this changing character as to how she has to deal with this time traveler, and then do I believe him or do I send the cops after him? Brad Pitt here was pretty crazy. He was pretty crazy, and I really enjoyed his acting because it was totally something I haven't seen before in terms of anything that he's done recently. And just an extra tidbit here, it's interesting to note that when he was cast for this movie, he was a relatively not known actor, but yet when 12 Monkeys came out, it was after Interview with the Vampire Chronicles, Legends of the Fall, and Seven. So by the time that 12 Monkeys came out, he was an A-list actor, so that's an interesting thing that Gilliam or the production companies got Pitt cheap, because if he was A-list and then they cast him, that would be more expensive. So there really isn't anything that I disliked about this film. Sure, maybe current day audiences would go like, there's not enough action in this movie, but I feel that the action that was conveyed in here felt real and much more impactful than all the action set pieces that you have in recent sci-fi films that where guns have to go blazing, explosions have to go left and right. But here it's in a sense where when things go down, it goes down, and it's meaningful, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, 12 Monkeys, it was enjoyable, and the storyline itself ages well in a sense where I feel that if a movie came out with the same plot, it wouldn't have felt out of place, because I feel that this plot line was written so far in terms of ahead of its time. Well, I think a lot of things back then was written ahead of its time, and now we're just recycling ideas. So yeah, so 12 Monkeys, totally recommended if you have not watched it. Though I would probably recommend you to watch Brazil, 12 Monkey, and Zero Theorem as the way that it was supposed to be intended, because now I have to go backwards. But, oh wow. Anyway, 12 Monkeys, check it out if you haven't. It was enjoyable, sci-fi. Yeah. Anyway, that's all. See ya.